get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2, gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 2, gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe, y'all, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, that junk was crazy, man. He said, man, I'm charging them dudes, cuz. What you mean? He said, you charging them? What you mean you charging them? He said, man, I charge them $25. Come look in my room. Yeah, I'm full up down there. I got $100 worth of commissary. I was like, whoa. That's what I said in my mind. I'm like, $100? That man charging them $25 a pop? That means he went 4 times game. I'm like, yo, that's crazy right there, man. I'm like, yo, man. He was like, man, this joint crazy, man. I was like, yo, man, y'all wild. I was like, yo, bro, the lady gonna close the door, bro. Y'all gonna stay here and talk. Dink was like, man, Dink couldn't believe it. Dink was like, Nut was like, man, I'm gonna get in the shower, cuz. He left out the cell. I was like, he get down to the steps. He went down the steps like this. He was like, he get on, went to the shower. So he get in the shower, I was like, hey, bro, you can't do nothing about that, bro. I'm just letting you know you can't do nothing about that, bro. That's a wrap. You know what I mean? He was like, man, nah, we look, think you're doing the right thing. He was like, it's their fault. I'm telling you, it's their fault. It's their fault, bro. I'm like, nah, bro, you can't blame them. You know what I mean? There's no way in the world you can blame the Shake, Rattle, and Rollers. I said, they just finding somebody they can shake, rattle, and roll on, bro. He was like, man, nah, Weezy, man. Nah, bro, no sir, Weezy, man. I was like, bro, let me say you won't get into that jump. I said, you put your word on that jump too. He's like, but I didn't know he was gonna do this though. I said, bro, how you gonna stop him? The man making money. The man charging for his services, for God's sakes, bro. Like, what are you gonna do, man? You know what I mean? He was like, man, that jump crazy, man. That jump crazy, Weezy, man. That jump crazy, man. He was like, man, call him back up here. I was like, bro, no, bro, I'm not calling him back up. He said, he in the shower yet? I said, no. He said, call him back up here then. I was like, oh, man, walk back out the door. I said, yo. I said, man, what Peter that? I said, Nut. Hey, Nut, come here, Nut. He was like, what's up? I was like, man, come here, man. He was like, shh. He came back up the steps like this. Every time he came up the steps, he was looking fruitier and fruitier, y'all. So boom. He come around again. He's like, what? I was like, man, your cousin wants you, man. I was about to say, man, what your shake, rattling, and rolling, looking like? I was about to hit him with a low blow pause, but I ain't say nothing. He was like, he went in the jump. Dink was like, look, man, don't mess with them dudes no more, man. If you need some food, I'm gonna give you some food, man. I'm telling you, man. What's your problem, man? He was like, cuz, you ain't gonna tell me what to do, cuz. You ain't gonna tell me what to do, cuz. I'm telling you. He said, man, look, I'm telling Auntie on you, man. Don't do it no more. I'm telling you, man. He said, no, I ain't doing it. It's my word. Dink grabbed it. I look, they in that junk tussling. I'm like, my word, Dink got him by the neck. Dink like, listen to me. You gonna listen to me, man? He like, get off me, cuz. He like, you gonna listen to me. You gonna listen to me, man. Yeah, you gonna listen to me, man. He like, get off me. Get off. He was like, Weezy, get him off. I was like, no, I'm not getting in the middle of that. I was like, I'm gonna be scrambling to shake, rattle, and roll out of you, man. So boom. So I stayed out of it like this, pause. I was like this. Just watch. This cousin was, you gonna listen to me? He straight overpowered him. He's old nut, couldn't do that over. You gonna listen? Yeah, you gonna listen? He was like, cuz, look, let me go, cuz. He just dropped his hands. He was like, let me go, cuz. Let me go. Let me go, cuz. He was like, so that's how you want to be? That's how you want to be? He was like, let me go, cuz. Then he was like, man, get out my cell, man. He was like, he was storming out the cell. I was like, bro, I can't be that, bro. He was like, man, Weezy, man, what I'm gonna do, Weezy? And I was like, bro, ain't nothing you can do, bro. I said, that man's a shake, rattle, and roller, bro. And that's all it is, bro. I said, that's just all it is. What can you do, my guy? I said, there's nothing you can do, bro. Nothing. He was like, man, I don't believe this, Weezy, man. I don't believe this, man. All right, bro. This is what it is, though, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta understand, I said, they get like this when they come to prison and they figure out this is who they really want to be, bro. And I said, from the looks of things, bro, your cousin is a shake rather than roller, bro. He was like, man, it's crazy. I was like, bro, it's not that crazy, bro. I said, but to be honest with you though, bro, I said, man, look, your best bet, bro, is just mind your business, man. I said, because you can't beat the shake rather than roll out of, bro. He was like, man, I'm gonna tell his mama on him, man. Watch, I'm gonna tell his mama on him, bro. I'm gonna tell his mama on him, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell his mama on him, man. I was like, man, shh, that joint crazy, man. I was like, man, that joint wild, man. So like, it wasn't nothing else he could do. You know what I mean? Me and him had that conversation. I left him in the cell dolo to think about what he just done. I know he was thinking about basically like, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, like I did the wrong thing. I don't supposed to be doing this. Like I supposed to be let him handle his life. Like let him be who he gonna be, man. You can't stop a person when they that deep in the game. Pause. You can't do it, man. So like, you know, Dink had that to think about. He had to reflect on that, man. So I left him in the room for a while. So I finally come back up there after 2 cell breaks later, and I just went and checked on him, you know what I mean, to make sure he was straight. I was like, you all right, bro? He was like, yeah. He was in the bed. He was like, yeah, I'm good, man. I was like, bro, there ain't a whole lot you could do, bro. You know what I mean? I was like, that joint crazy though, man. I was like, man, for real, bro. Like it's, you know what I mean? It's out your hands. You know what I mean? I was like, you staying in the cell? He was like, yeah, I'm staying a little bit more. I was like, all right, bro, we're going to dinner in a minute. So he was like, all right. He was like, you got to get in here. I was like, nah, you good. I just came to check on you. So I go back downstairs, you know what I mean? I went back downstairs. I went and sat at the bench by myself. They got the long benches. Sitting at the bench, looking at the TV right up there. Looking up at the TV. As I'm chilling, somebody sat by me, but I didn't know who sat by me at first, but they didn't get close by me. It's a long bench, you know what I mean? So I'm like on the left end of the bench, you know what I mean? But as I'm sitting there, I just felt somebody sit down to my right end of the bench, but not super close to me, but kind of like right there though. So as they sit down, I was like, da-da-da-da-da. But as he sat down, I was like, da-da-da-da. I was like, look, it was one of the booty bandit dudes. I was like, he was like, hey, Weezy, hey, look me. I was like, da-da-da-da. I said, what's up, man? He said, hey, look, can I holler at you for a sec? I'm like, holler at me for what? What you gonna holler at me for, bro? He was like, nah, look, ain't nothing like that. This is what I want to talk to you about, though, man. He was like, look, man, I just want to tell you, though, man, like, I know you rock with Dink, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to go up there. I been hearing what's going on. You know, we can hear it. Like, everybody can hear it. But, you know, like, I really like Nut, you know what I mean? Like, I be paying him and stuff, you know what I mean? But, like, I really like him. And before I go to that next level, you know what I mean? Like, I want to know if I can have his cousin Blessing, because I said, his cousin Blessing? I said, what, you getting married or something, man? I said, you acting like you married him, man. What you got going? He was like, nah, like, when I mean Blessing, like, you know, it's always family members who don't like when they see that they family member turn to a boy. So like, you know, when they turn to a boy, like they can't really handle it. Like he was breaking down the science of a boy, and I wasn't really trying to hear it, man. He was like, yeah, because when they turn into a boy, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like a lot of people can't handle it, Weezy. So I'm just trying to make sure, like, you know, me and him, all right. Like, you know, that's him giving me his blessing, that we all right. I'm like, bro, listen, man, like, you ain't getting no blessing, man. He was like, but I'm saying though, like, I mean, like, you know, like, I be paying them, you know what I mean? A couple of other dudes be paying them, but you know what I mean? I'm trying not to pay him no more, and I'm trying to stop him from getting paid from them other dudes too. So that's what I'm trying to stop. So like, if you can holler at your roommate and tell him come holler at me, then, you know, maybe, you know, like, you know, then everything can be straight. But I'm coming to you because I know you're a little bit more sensible, and, you know, like, you know, you won't get down in that world. I already know that ain't your world. He made sure, if that ain't your world right there, I already know. So, man, just holler at him for me if you can, man. I was like, man, listen, man. Like, I can't believe you came to me to tell me to holler at my roommate to see if it's okay that you finished, that you been up messing with his cousin, man. He was like, man, look, Weezy, man. He gonna mess with somebody, man. You might as well let him mess with me, man. You know what I mean? I was like, shh. I ain't even had a comeback, y'all. So, boom. I said, all right, man. All right, bro. He was like, ah. He got up. You know what I mean? As he walked away, I was like, he got away from me. I was like, Shake, Rattle, and Roll is crazy, man. But I'm like, dang, I gotta go holler at my roommate. He want my roommate blessing. I'm like, man, this junk crazy, man. I'm like, this junk crazy, man. I don't believe this, man. So right before I was about to go upstairs to my cell, you know what I mean? The lady said, stand by for child. She pop all the doors. All the doors open up. When all the doors open up, this is my word. I'm like, man, let me go get my CD. I had let bro hold my Diplomat's immunity CD. You know what I mean? The sleeping cell 3. So that's right by the dude Peanut cell. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, let me go grab this jump right quick, because I was about to hit the steps, but cell 3 was right there. So I'm like, let me go get my CD. So I run the 3. I'm like, hey, bro, let me grab that CD back from him. He was like, oh, yeah, that joint hard too. We doubled this game. I was like, yeah, that joint sweet. You know what I mean? So I'm standing at the door. When I go, I turn this way, I look. I just seen the dude Nut coming from sale somewhere. He was coming from a sale from down there, but he was walking like this. He was like, I was like, I moved out of his way. I'm like, bro, why you walking like that, bro? He was like, shut up, Weezy. I was like, he went past me. I was like, what the? Bro that had the CD, he was like, who you talking about, Peanut? I'm like, yeah. He said, bro, that's where, you know, he be tricking out with them dudes, bro. I was like, bro, don't remind me, bro. I know, bro. I was like, that joke crazy. He's like, yeah, bro, dudes be giving him commissary, bro, to mess with him, bro. I'm like, he a maniac, man. Like, you know, I didn't know what to say, bro. I see him walk by, you know what I mean? I was like, man, joke crazy, man. But I'm like, man, I grab the CD. I dip upstairs. I get upstairs. My roommate was just getting himself together. He was at the toilet brushing his teeth. I was like, you going to try? He was like, yeah. I said, yo, bro, say word, bro. He was like, what? I said, man. I said, first of all, I just seen Nut coming from Shake, Rattle, and Roller, bro. You know he charged for his services, so, like, ain't no telling. You know what I mean? He was like, he just looked at me. I was like, nah, but look, say word, bro. The old head booty bandit dude, bro, that sleep in cell 8. I said, man, he told me that he wanted me to holler at you to get your blessing. He was like, get my blessing. He spit the toothpaste out. He said, get my blessing. What you mean, get my blessing, man? I said, bro, he talking about that he be paying your cousin to mess with him. He said, but he trying to mess with him exclusively. But before you do that, he want to make sure everything is copacetic with y'all. You know what I mean? I told him, I didn't really want to come holler at you about this, but I'm putting you on point, man, what this man talking about, man. Like, that man told you to come up here and ask me that, Weezy, man. He was like, man, he went to the sink, washed his mouth out. He was like, psh. He was like, man, see, dudes getting out of line now, Weezy, man. See, this is what I'm talking about right here, man. These dudes getting out of line, bro. Like, they keep coming with all this BS, man. I don't got time for that, Weezy, man. I don't got time for that mess, Weezy, man. He gonna come up here. He said, man, that man would have came and said that to me, I'd have smacked his whole head off, man. I'm like, I mean, I feel you, bro, but I'm like, man, that's when the man came and told me to tell you, man. You know what I mean? He was like, man, start putting on his shoes, you know what I mean? Getting accelerated. You know what I mean? Went down the street, just left out the cell. I'm like, he ain't say nothing, he just left out. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I grab my stuff, you know what I mean? Grab my stuff. So dude next door came to the door. He said, hey, Weezy, hey, look, come get your celly, man. I was like, what? He said, he down there arguing with dude. He called the booty bandit dude in cell 8. I'm like, what? I come down the steps like this. I shoot down the steps. I get down the steps. I walk over there. I'm like, as I'm walking over there, I hear my roommate Dink. Like, all I hear is Dink voice like, yeah, bro, and you got something to say to me? You come tell me like a man. You come holler at me like a man. Don't be sending my celly no messages. You come tell me like a man. You come tell me like a man. The booty bandit dude, he a little shorter than Dink. He standing there. He like, he just let Dink vent. He like, Dink like, look, man, don't be coming telling me no stuff like that. What's the matter with you, man? And better yet, man, leave my little cousin alone, man. Leave my little cousin alone, man. He was like, he would just stand there letting Dink vent. Dink like, yeah, man, don't mess with my cousin no more, man. I look over at Nut standing by his door just looking. Dude just standing there getting a verbal lashing. He like, yeah, I told you, man, stay away from my cousin, man. Don't make me tell you again, man. Don't be sending me no messages and don't be messing with my cousin. He just going in, dude, like, you finished? You finished? Dink was like, you heard what I said, man. Dude said, you finished? You finished? Dink said, you heard what I said? He said, man, listen, number one, let me explain something to you. Since you're finished, number one, your cousin is a boy. Number two, he about to be my boy. Number three, you can't do nothing about it. I was being polite by telling your roommate to go holler at you. His eyes got like this. I was being polite to tell your roommate come holler at you. I was being nice. I was being nice about it, man. But I ain't gonna keep being nice about it, man. Yeah, Peanut, come here. Come here, Peanut. Peanut was like, oh, you ain't gonna come here? He went in the cell. He said, he came out. He had a bag of honey buns, a bag of cinnamon rolls. It was like 5 and 5 in that joint. He was like, Peanut, come here, Peanut. Come here, Peanut. Peanut was like, he was like, come on, get him. Come on, get him. Peanut was like, as soon as he get ready to grab the bag, this is where Dink grabbed the bag. Dink was like, man, he pushed him. He's like, man, you better back up. You better back up. This is my word. Dude was like, what? Dude said, man, you better move, man. Dink was like, yeah, what's up? This word Dink going to dude's cell. I said, oh my God. Man, Then when the dude said he started thumping, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I go closer to the door. I'm like, my word, they thumping, boom, 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 boom. Dude, booty bandit dude throwing them Jones back. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. Peanut coming door, Peanut like, he just waved them off and went back to his toys and said, everybody come to the joint, start looking, this word. They in that joint thumping. Man, they in that joint thumping, man, this word. Dude get my roommate. He catch him in a little joint. Boom, he get my roommate in a little move. This my word in that joint. Look. My roommate look at me like this from up under his arm like, man, Weezy, come break this joint up, man. I was like, if he could read my brain, that joint was like, I don't be fighting shake, rattling, and rollers, bro. And dude ain't gonna cut me. No, sir. I ain't got nothing to do with that, man. He was like, he tried to overpower it. Dude was like, boom, 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 boom. Dude gave him a combo at the end. So they went in the jump. He was like, they split up a little. He was like, what's up? What's up? They say, exit for child. Exit for child. Dude was like, man, get out my cell, man. Get out my cell, man. You ain't here fighting because you don't want your cousin to be a boy. He had a little crazy when he did it. He was like, man, get out my cell, man. Get out my cell, man. You ain't here fighting me because you don't want your cousin to be a boy. That's where I'm standing at the door. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm standing at the door weak. I'm standing at the door weak, man. That's my word. I'm like, oh. I'm like, this joke crazy. Like, you ain't this joke fighting me because you don't want your cell to be a boy. Yeah, come on. Get out my cell. Get out my cell. That's where Dick was like. I was like, Dick, come on, let's go to child, man. Come on, man. You wildin', man. He was like, I was like, come on, bro. He was like, he backed down the jump in and start walking. I was like, bro, you wildin', bro. We hit the steps. We get downstairs, you know what I mean? We go through the door, we outside now. I said, bro, you wildin', man. I said, man, you fighting the nigga that, I said, man, you fighting the nigga that fuck with them boys, man. He was like, my face all right? I was like, yeah, it's a little black right here though. He was like, is it bleeding? I said, I don't see no blood. He was like, he started checking it something. Like, I said, bro, why you think? I said, bro, listen, I know you like cooked food. I said, but I'm not going in the cell fighting no booty bandit, bro. I'm letting you know now. Like, them dudes, I ain't got time for that. Them dudes having unprotected sex. And I don't have time for that. Basically, in a nutshell, you know what I mean? Pause. He was like, kept checking himself. I said, bro, look, bro. Like, so if you gonna get into it with him, I don't have nothing to do with that, bro. He was like, you good. You good, Weezy. You good. Get close to the child. We get in that joint. They got the glizzies in there. Get in there. He get his tray. He was like, they got glizzies with bread. It's the weak glizzy tray. I'm like, putting mustard on him. Like, he was like, you want this joint, Weezy? I was like, you don't want it. He was like, I can't eat right now, man. I was like, I'll take them. Y'all know I took them glizzies, so boom. I gotta have them. It's my word. So we sat in that joint. He calmed down. You know what I mean? When he got on some juice, he calmed down. He said, man, Weezy, man, I had a dude, man. I'm like, oh, bro, listen. I said, man, look, leave that be, bro. I'm telling you, man. Leave that be, man, because it's a winless battle. I'm telling you, bro. I'm still eating the glizzies. I'm like, yo, bro, just leave that be, man. He like, man, that man fought. We fought. I said, bro, you fought him because he tried to get your cousin some honey buns, bro. I said, come on, man. He was like, man, that's crazy. I can't believe he walked over there and got that bag. I said, bro, he's getting nailed for money, bro. What do you mean, bro? That's his payment, bro. What are you talking about, bro? He was like, shh, man, Weezy, man, you're crazy, man. I was like, bro, man, chill out, man. They opened the doors up. I just finished my glizzies off. You know what I mean? We went back to the pod. We get back to the pod. So we walked in the pod. We looked up and seen the booty bandit dude. And this word, he was standing at his door. So he see us walking in. He came towards us like bad dudes. He was like, hey, can I holler at you, man? Dick was like, you ain't gotta holler at me about nothing. You ain't gotta holler at me about nothing. He was like, look, man. I'm trying to be nice about it, man. We ain't gotta destroy each other in here, man. Cause I'm not trying to go to the hole, man. He was like, look, listen, man. Look, all I'm saying is, man, I'm trying to make sure everything cool with us because you gotta put in your mind, man, that your cousin is a boy.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart just to open your eyes up.